Hey there, folks. First and foremost, thank you so much for taking some time to watch this particular video series. Really, the purpose of this video series is just to try to help us to be a bit more proactive in our interactions online and even also just in regular society. Because when it really comes down to it, the internet is just a tool for communication. Okay, oftentimes we'll say IRL and stuff like that, but really the internet is in IRL. It's just a tool that we use to communicate or to get information. So with that, let's get started and let's look at a few things to better our vigilance. So the first thing I think we should look at is the terminology of different things surrounding vigilance. So the first one, what is vigilance? And vigilance is the action or state of keeping careful watch for possible danger or difficulties. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. Now let's move over to the term misconduct. Now, some people may have different views of this, but at the end of the day, we really need to look at what the facts are surrounding these terms. So the definition of misconduct is the unacceptable or improper behavior, especially in professional settings. So if you are in a group and you start talking about something that clearly is unacceptable, it already has a history of causing problems, and especially it's unlawful and it's immoral, chances are you should not be engaging in that kind of conduct, especially when it's in a group that doesn't accept it. Now, let's look at some subsidiaries of misconduct, which could be interchangeable. But the first one, of course, is harassment. Okay, so harassment is defined as aggressive pressure or intimidation. So if we look at one term surrounding that, which can also possibly be a crime in some cases, is stalking. And stalking is defined as the act of engaging in a course of conduct directed at a specific person under circumstances that would cause reasonable perception to fear bodily injury or to experience substantial emotional distress. Now, what is that course of conduct? That means two or more acts, including but not limited to acts in which a person directly, indirectly, or through third parties by any action, method, device, or means follows, monitors, observes, surveils, threatens, or communicates to or about another person or interferes with another person's property. And then, of course, the substantial emotional distress part, which means significant mental suffering or anguish. Now let's move on to another general term. For algorithm's sake, even though this is all in the form of education, I'm actually going to use alternative wording. Adult level misconduct, to which in this case, as the spelling defines, unacceptable or improper behavior of an adult level nature. Now, one of those, of course, is adult level harassment, which is behavior characterized by the making of unwelcome and inappropriate adult level remarks or physical advances. So if you make advances or you say something to someone that has adult level content in it, and they tell you to stop, but then you keep going, that's harassment. If you are an authority figure and you misuse your authority as a means to gain something from someone, that's harassment. Another one, which is adult level solicitation. That is the unwanted request to engage in adult level activities or talk or any other adult-related request by an adult. Now, this is mainly related to engagement with minors, which is a criminal offense. Never engage in this type of behavior. Even if the interaction is consensual, it could still classify as a criminal offense. Another term, adult level exploitation, which is the act of deceiving, coercing, or forcing an individual to participate in adult level activities for selfish benefits. So what we're really looking at here in this is we need to exercise personal responsibility and govern our actions. Now, some of us may say we didn't mean to do that, but yet it keeps happening. So let's bring in some terms in regards to our state of mind in that regard. Because one thing in the case of criminal offense, oftentimes the law requires that there's actual criminal intent, basically willful intent. And if we look at the definition of willful, it's having or showing a stubborn and determined intention to do as one wants, regardless of the consequences or effects. So to put it in simpler words, it's doing things we know we should not be doing. So if we're doing that, then it's willful, it's intentional. Versus unintentional, which means it's not done on purpose. Now, oftentimes there are a bunch of justifications we try to do for this, which are oftentimes personal perceptions, to which oftentimes is classified as an opinion, especially when we're getting in trouble for something we knew we should not have been doing, but we believe somehow that there is a justification for it. So if we go to the term opinion, opinion is a view or judgment formed about something, not necessarily based on fact or knowledge. So one thing to take away from this is if we really want to deal with conduct and misconduct, we need to go by what are the facts, not by opinion, but by facts. And the final term we're going to deal with is cybercrime. And I want to say this specifically to those who are under adult age. Cybercrime is a crime that involves a computer or a network that threatens a person, company, or a nation's security and financial health. Now, in the case of common cybercrimes among minors and other human beings as well, especially when it comes to social media, one of them is cyberbullying. And I'm going to share some details of just two particular YouTube videos. They're a bit old now. They're back from 2012 and 2013. But it's news outlets that actually covered where students ranging from 12 years of age to 16 years of age have been arrested for cyberbullying. And both of these videos I'll link in the description below so you can check them out for yourself. But I just want it to be known, if you are able to use an electronic device and you are on social media, you are most likely at an age to where you can be charged with a crime online if you commit one, and people choose to pursue legal action. With that, we're going to end it here for the terminology segment. The next segment we're going to cover is conscience and myths recollection. Because one thing I'm also noticing in just about every single community is there seems to be a conflict of conscience as well as myths that cause us to make very poor decisions. And we're going to discuss that in the next video. So with that, thank you for watching this one. Please take some time to review the terms and let's really start being more vigilant, because by circumstantial evidence, it's way overdue.